What's up, fellas? Welcome to Dorm Talk, episode 1, sponsored by yours truly. Today, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be my roomie Joe. Joe, come on in here, man. Come on in here. This is Joe. Welcome to Dorm Talk. Today, we're talking top 20 Star Wars characters. Thought long and hard about this, and we're gonna have a controversial, most likely controversial discussion about the top 20 Star Wars characters we got. 20 here, 20 on Joe's side. I'm going to start off with my honorable mentions. Characters that would possibly make a top 30, top 35 list, top 25 list, something like that. So, in no particular order, Bo-Katan, Asajj Ventress, not making the list. I know how you feel. I couldn't include her.
Okay.
Mace Windu, Hera Syndulla. Full disclosure, why don't you tell him?
I have not seen Star Wars Rebels.
So he has no opinion on Hera Syndulla. Finn really could have been up there, but Rian Johnson screwed it up. And then final honorable mention, R2-D2.
Right. All right.
You got some honorables?
I'll do my honorable mentions just to lighten the mood a little bit. Jango Fett.
Okay.
Right? Best genetics in the galaxy.
Right. True.
But he's not the best character in the universe. Mace Windu, same as you. Moff Gideon.
Okay.
Right?
Respect.
You can't dislike that actor.
Respect.
Right? The dude's a meme.
Yeah.
And I feel silly saying it, but Ronan from the Star Wars Visions, episode 1.
Oh my god. Look, if you would have put the Elder, like, whatever. But we're going, oh my gosh. Alright, fair enough. It's not canon, but it's not at least, if it was your number 1, we'd probably have a physical altercation.
I mean, you know what?
Unbelievable.
I mean, he was cool. Right?
He was cool.
He had the
I
N
would
factor.
put it there.
Sorry.
I would maybe not put that in honorable mentions, maybe the dope characters that missed the list, but
That's an honorable mention.
fair enough.
Okay.
Continue.
I'm starting off with number 20 then.
Oh, well, hold on. I gotta talk about my dope characters that missed the list real quick.
Oh, okay.
Dope characters.
You made it silly.
These are just dope characters.
Right.
Count Dooku, unfortunately falling all the way down. He was up there, but
Wow.
had some last minute decision making.
Wow.
Cool lightsaber, cool fighting style. You just bad, but unfortunately not terribly relevant. Then we got Commander Cody. Just dope.
Yeah, that's
Just
fair.
dope.
That's fair.
Just dope. Savage Opress. Just a unit.
That dude screamed awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just awesome. Got Lando.
Interesting.
Now, say what you will about Lando. I'm not an original trilogy baby. I don't have a connection with Lando. But he's dope. He's dope. Donald Glover played a great Lando on Solo, and I respect D. Williams or whatever his face says. Dope character. Final 2, Pre-Vizsla, Poe Dameron.
Holy yeah. Pre-Vizsla, that fight between him and Maul.
Mm-hmm. One of the greatest scenes in Clone Wars.
That was probably the best fight scene.
Absolutely.
Of Clone Wars.
Absolutely. Then Poe Dameron.
Maybe.
Look, say what you will about the sequel trilogy, but Poe Dameron was pretty cool. Plus, Oscar Isaac is a fantastic actor. He's like in everything now. All right, let's hear your number 20, Joe. Who you got?
Number 20. All right. As he said, we're not original trilogy children,
Yes.
and you can see it.
Yeah. Facts.
Right. So, if you disagree, you're wrong. All right. Number 20. Hondo, the pirate from Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
I respect that so much.
Right? It's a pirate,
He's dope.
right? With a really weird moral belief system where at one point he wants to kill children and take kyber crystals, and the next he's like, ooh, I want to see a lightsaber get built. But then he takes on Maul and Savage with Obi-Wan, and Hondo always survives. He survived making this list.
Unbelievable. Great pick. Number 20 for me, kind of a sentimental pick in a sense. We're going Quill. From The Mandalorian.
Like, the guy from...
I was devastated when he died, dude. absolutely devastated. No death in Star Wars has hit me as hard as him dying. That was like you could have thought like, okay, this guy's gonna die. Like he's just too good. But it hit me. Quill's great character. I have spoken.
You know what? That was a wonderful. You've spoken. That's great. That's great right there. All right.
Yeah.
Would you like to take number 19?
Sure, 2 in a row. Here we go. Number 19, Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon's cool. He has an important role in one movie. His presence is felt in the Clone Wars occasionally, and probably in the upcoming Obi-Wan show, we're probably going to hear some Force connection talking type deals. Qui-Gon, he's the one that figured out how to live after death through the Force. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going Qui-Gon 19.
Qui-Gon, right. Okay. An honorable mention of yours made my list. Mr. Count Dooku, right?
Okay.
He pulls up to the scene, wrecks Anakin and Obi-Wan, makes an escape on Yoda. Great Clone Wars appearance,
Yeah. I really do like Count Dooku.
right? Was his personality all there? No. Was he huge, impactful? Not so much. But he's a stable number 19 pick.
And he's much more compelling in the Clone Wars too. Like I feel like people wouldn't even like. Let's be real, Count Dooku. Like, if you haven't seen the Clone Wars, he's irrelevant.
That's fair. He would not even be close to
Like
making
it's
this list.
just like another lightsaber. Like why is he even there? Like if you look at the story, like why can't it just be?
He was just Maul's replacement.
Practically, yeah, he really was. All right, I'll take 19. Chewbacca. I wrote 2 A's. That's not how you spell Chewbacca. Regardless, Chewbacca is just classic. I mean, how many other movies have you seen a furry character that can't speak English like be as cool as Chewbacca? Like you don't see that. Chewbacca's one of a kind. He's absolutely one of a kind. You watch Chewie and he talks and he makes his sounds, and you know what he's saying every time. You don't need subtitles or you don't need Han's response. Like you know what he's saying, and it's hilarious. He's one of the few. Like he's not even just comic relief. He's important. He's a freaking bad.
Team's muscle.
Right.
I respect
Exactly. And I mean, Chewbacca is just kind of a classic character, and in all of cinema, right? Everyone knows who Chewbacca is.
That. Oh yeah.
So I'm putting Chewbacca. In terms of Star Wars, he's down near the bottom of the top 20. But in terms of like cinema,
You showed up in Solo.
Yeah.
Clone Wars for a brief moment.
Yep.
And of course, well, I mean the regular movies,
Mm-hmm.
right? Played a huge focal part.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on though. Slightly controversial pick, but I did not enjoy the last 3 movies that have recently come out. 7, 8, 9. Kylo Ren.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Ben Swallow's cool.
Ben Solo's great. Have you seen me with my shirt off? I kind of resemble him. It's true.
We'll see after.
We'll cut the cameras. I like Kylo Ren. In fact, I like him enough. I'm not gonna steal your spotlight here. I'm gonna let you continue. But Kylo Ren is my 17. So we're in pretty much concurrence here.
He does the job as a villain.
He's the only compelling character in the sequel trilogy. He's torn between the dark and the light, right? He's regrets killing his father, regrets not having a relationship with his mother, and you can tell he wants so badly to be with the light. And he fights that until the very end when he actually comes back. I think he's got really the only compelling story arc in the sequels.
Agreed. Spoiler alert. There's probably not going to be another 7, 8, 9 character in here. That was like introduced in 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, right. Introduced. That's a great way to do it. Because, like, yeah, Luke Skywalker would count. But, like...
Again, spoilers. Luke Skywalker's probably on the list. You know,
Now
no,
that
this
would
is
be
real time
controversial.
shock though. This is real time shock. I don't know his list. He doesn't know mine, so he could. He does something.
I did
he
throw
does something silly
Queel
like
in the
that.
top 20. So
Right. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Maybe I'll make next time the scripts will be behind us or something, or we'll memorize them. But we're on the fly. So. Mando.
Din Djarin, nice.
He looks cool.
Does look cool.
He fights cool.
Does fight cool.
Has a great paternal instinct, sort of.
Yeah.
But overall, his personality is just kind of like, I care about my people.
Yeah.
And I care about Grogu. Terrible name, by the way.
I'm a fan of it.
The child was just so much better.
Okay, well, what happens in 200 years when he's no longer a child?
Well, then
When
he's-
they eventually revisit his arc?
You know what? When they release that,
Are we gonna get like adolescent Grogu like we got adolescent Groot? Like in
let's skip that phase.
Okay.
Let's bump him back.
that's what I agree with that. But that would be something Disney would do. Probably like in a short or like a mini series. You know what I mean?
Right. He's got a dark saber.
Yeah, that's compelling. What's gonna happen? Right? He just wants to hand it over. He doesn't want the throne. He doesn't want
He
it.
don't care. But
Yeah. Wow.
other than that, though, he didn't have that much of an it factor. Some other characters on this list.
I'm gonna give it to you straight though. I'm happy you put him on the list, but why isn't he higher? I think he should be higher.
I mean, I've tried to form a case
Mhm.
on some of these characters that'll be a bit shocking to you later on,
Okay.
but we'll leave it at that until we get to those characters.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Number 16. Kanan Jarrus. From Rebels. He doesn't have much input, so I'm just gonna kind of just give it to you straight. I want so bad to put Kanan higher. Kanan's so cool. Kanan is like the life and soul of Rebels, right? You get Darth Maul, pretty sick. You get Ahsoka, pretty sick. You get some Captain Rex, pretty sick. But like Kanan was what kept me like to continue watching. Like Ezra is really not that compelling. And the problem is it's a kids show, so Ezra has to be the main character to appeal to the children. But I find Kanan so much more interesting, and I find his relationship with Ezra to be really cool. I found his relationship with Hera to be like just really compelling. It's the most like, I don't know, adult-like type thing. He's very mature, makes a great sacrifice in the end. Kanan's cool. Kanan's number 16.
Spoiler alert. Sorta.
For you. But
Okay.
you have made no interest in watching Rebels, so I'm just gonna,
Right. I've seen the important parts,
Mhm.
regarding the important characters.
duels.
Right. Exactly. All right. Am I allowed to use simp? I'm a simp for action. Right. There's a cool lightsaber fight. I want to see it.
I respect it. Wow.
Okay.
Now tell me.
That may look bad. It looks bad. Kind of is bad.
I'll let you use the excuse that we're not OT babies, but 16. Let me hear it.
Carrie Fisher. Talking about the right actor, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. She's cool. 789 though, I didn't like what she did. I brought her down, honestly. You know what?
That's the fault
Right,
of J.J.
Hondo?
Abrams and
I know Hondo got
Lucasfilm.
botched hard with Rebels, right?
A little
He
bit.
got nerfed.
Only his animation though. It's
No,
it's
he's not
just
the
his
cool
appearance.
pirate anymore.
He kind of is though, but he's on his own, and he's still trying to manipulate people the same way he does. He's still Hondo. The problem is it just looks different because Rebels animation's not that good.
That probably you'd have been taken off the list. But Leia. I'm trying to think of a contributing factor that Leia had in any of the movies. Right? I hate to say it. Past movies didn't have the inclusivity regarding.
She died halfway through making before they made one. They had to use clips of.
Right?
I can't fault her for what they used after her death. Because I mean, let's be real, in the Rise of Skywalker, she was not good. Like she did not need to be in there. Like yeah, she was going to be an important part before, but like adapt because what they used just like didn't make any sense. It's like they formed different dialogue around her because they only had like 7 clips they could use. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why she's low.
Right. I respect that part, but I was like, you can't fault her for that. You can't fault the character for that. That's the executive decision making that
movies?
screwed her over.
No Leia.
Dude,
Bunch of them smaller series, movies, TV shows. No Leia.
Well,
7, 8, 9.
did she appear in Clone Wars? I feel like she did briefly.
Leia.
Oh, maybe no. Rebels. She's in Rebels.
She's in Rebels. Maybe. All right. So no Rebels. None of them first series. 7, 8, 9 not so good. So we got 4, 5, 6, and she was overshadowed by lots of characters that have not been mentioned. Plain and simple. Not very memorable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I'm taking this one from you. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Right, as the name implies, this pick was... Well, Savage. I know.
Savage.
I know, you're like, wow. Above frigging Leia.
Above Leia,
Bando.
Mando.
Kylo Ren. Count Dooku.
Wow. Oh my. You're gonna have look, Savage is dope.
He's got the it factor that does not compare to
He's
any
just
of these
brute
characters.
force though.
This dude takes bullets like a champ. He's getting shot by droids all
And that's
angles.
the thing, it's like,
And then he just gets mad and he starts choking out fools.
okay, but yeah, he's cool, but that's all he's got going for him. Is just he's bad. And the only reason he is because
Remember that time he came up to that lighthouse watchtower, just wiped out a whole post, was like,
yeah,
"What's up, Count?
it was easy for him too. Yeah.
I'm done." Yeah, he's dead. Right? He did something to King Katunko.
King Katunko.
Right?
King Katunko.
Thank you for that.
Number 1, King Katunko.
He screams cool. This dude screams awesome. Why is he not higher? His personality was pretty bland.
Well, yeah, because he's just brute force.
He was
He's
constantly
just a monster
manipulated.
born.
He was
Well-
always second place, third place. You know, he's always low on the totem pole. He never got his moment of just greatness. I mean,
And okay.
you remember this guy.
Yeah.
You
'Cause he's
remember
cool.
his death. Well, okay, fair enough. But this dude here, I love the Clone Wars. It's a wonderful series.
I agree. But Savage, okay. Like,
He looks cool. He has cool fight scenes.
you're starting to, I wonder what this area is going to be, because if this is foreshadowing, we might have some serious, I'm going to let it slide. Like Savage,
Right,
yeah.
we're gonna get some Bib Fortuna, Jabba the Hutt, Watto, Viceroy,
Just-
Gunray, and then
Poggle the Lesser.
Poggle the Lesser.
Great.
There you go.
You deserve. If we're doing top 10 names, Poggle the Lesser, easy.
Poggle the Lesser is an easy
Look,
one.
I'm gonna let it slide though. Like, if Savage is going to make the list, yeah, he's 15 or below. I'll respect it, but just who you have behind Savage is what irks me. I can't.
Mando could be higher. You know what? If I might make a change, it might be him going up a little bit.
Okay.
However, it's the it factor. It sounds like a really boring answer that I can't back up. But this dude, anytime he was on screen, dominated. Straight domination.
Except for when Palpatine showed up. Then he got clapped real quick.
Even when he was before cool phase, where he got hit with that Night Sister hocus pocus.
Well, he barely beat everybody else though before he was chosen.
Nah. He survived, and then he saved his brother, who he then killed. If that doesn't scream it factor, Leia having the Force, that's baloney factor.
Wow.
There you go. I
Setting up for my 15.
don't just leave a comment and then I'll reply.
Han Solo.
I put a seemingly low character above some of these characters because I think this guy is cool.
Mm-hmm. I know. He might be a bit low.
Go on.
Here's my thing with Han Solo.
Right, you're gonna put like Kid Fisto up there.
No, Kid Fisto was not on the list. I promise you, I put some effort into this, and this is something I always think about. Like, oh, who's my favorite character now? Who's whatever. Han Solo. There's just not like he's cool.
He's an outlaw.
He's an outlaw, but like
Thanks, Solo movie.
I don't know, man. Maybe I need to watch the OT like again, and just see it again. But I just don't have a real connection with Han Solo. And like my first two experiences with Han Solo, right? Because I watched the movies out of order. I'm not someone who like from out the womb, my dad was like force feeding me Star Wars. No, like he let me grow up, and then he was like, "Hey, we're all going to see the new Star Wars that's coming out in 2015. Let's watch this one because it might lead up to it." So my first experience, frozen carbonite half the movie, and then they have to go rescue him, right? Like you just that's my first experience. Like, who's this mofo and why is he in a rock? Second time I see him.
Oh yeah, we're gonna censor you out.
Yeah, I'll censor me out. Like, yes, we'll be a little more.
We're gonna include like a funny beat.
Yeah, like a quack or something. I don't know. Regardless, first experience with him, frozen in a rock. Second experience with him, gets nerfed. He gets killed, thrown off a bridge. Now I do really like Kanan 16. Like, you know how much it hurt me to put like these two. Like, I really want them to be up here, but the characters ahead of them. There's just Star Wars is so rich, and there's just so much more.
There's depth.
We're like, the fact that I like this list, like, this is it. Like, to me, like, if you're on this list, you're hype. You're an A character. Right. You're an A character. Savage, B. But anything on this to me is an A.
Okay.
So up here you got your A pluses, like 1 through 7. You get your A's, and then down here, like, that's me. I don't have that connection with Han Solo to put him up higher. That's where I'm at with Mr. Solo. Okay.
Same reasons as you stated before, right? He's a cool guy.
Yep.
Makes cool appearances. He shows up. He's in a lot of the movies,
Mhm.
a lot of the shows, a lot of everything. He's a team's muscle. He makes funny noises. But like, right? He's probably a good Halloween costume for children and adults.
Facts.
I respect that.
I wish I could make his noise too. I wish I could do it.
Right, gargle some water, and that's as close as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Overall,
I also wish I could do Perry the Platypus. I feel like if I could do Perry the Platypus, I could do Chewbacca. Off topic.
Off topic, but the next characters mentioned have, in my opinion, more personality.
Would Chewbacca have more personality if you could straight up understand him?
Probably, because it's not just like, oh, what'd he say?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like 2 words, summarized what he actually said, right? He's really old,
Yeah.
right? That was a fun joke, but like, it wasn't Chewbacca's joke.
Yeah.
It was Han's joke because he's the translator.
I think his character is absolutely brilliant.
He's a fun character.
And he's
fun.
it's just, that's classic Star Wars, is Chewbacca. Han Solo, Chewbacca, C-3PO. Like, if you're gonna ignore it, like, that's just classic Star Wars. You know what I mean? R2 is...
For not growing up with it.
When you're not, if you're not Luke Skywalker and you're Darth Vader, like, everyone still knows Han Solo, Chewbacca, and the robots. The Borgs, right? They know.
Gonk droid.
Gonk droid. Top 10 droids. Okay, here we go. 14 for me. Yoda.
That is a drastically low placement.
Yoda is dope. Like, I like Yoda. I just... Other than him being wise, what is he? Like, you know what I mean, though?
He's an old, wise dude.
And he's great. And his first introduction to Star Wars, fantastic.
I'm thinking of every other show.
But he
where
kind of
there's an
loses...
old guy.
Yoda kind of loses his freaking, like, funniness when he's in, like, the prequels. Like, you gotta think, like, prequel Yoda's only 30 years younger than Empire Yoda. But this Yoda's, like, I don't know. There's a lot of different Yodas and different portrayals of Yoda.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, Yoda's classic, too. Like, you know Yoda's absolutely classic. I just, like... He doesn't really have an arc. You know what I mean? Like, his arc is to train Luke, and then he dies. But then he gets brought back for the prequels, and he's kind of just, like, the badass old guy. But what's his arc in the Clone Wars? He doesn't really have an arc. He's just like,
he has
yeah,
the first, like,
he
3
was in the
episodes.
he was in the old ones. He's here, and he's just, like, there. Everyone's like, oh, I want to see what Yoda was like. And he's kind of involved in a couple duels, like, big duels, but he doesn't have an arc.
Maybe a young Count Dooku movie while he's still in the Jedi.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I would love to see a movie, like, I want to see Prime Yoda. That would climb him up the list. But, like, I also think they kind of forced it. With him being, you know, all acrobatic. He's only 30 years younger than when he passed away. And he's, like, doing flips.
I mean, that is his fighting style.
Okay, but, like, good...
Force
like,
assisted.
it's okay. But when you live 900 years... Right, 30
30
years is
shift in 30
if you
years,
shift that down to a
900.
human lifetime, you're telling me my 87-year-old grandpa is doing flips, but when at 87,
yeah,
that's what Yoda's doing.
Yeah,
at 870.
Uh-huh.
I don't see it if he's like too frail to walk or like he has to, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a little forced to me, but I still love Yoda. Like, Yoda's just iconic. Like, I'm kind of on him right now, but it's still Yoda. Like, I love Yoda. Everyone loves Yoda. Yoda belongs on this list. He's just not, you know, top 10.
Right, he's iconic. He's got a whole voice.
Right.
What, language?
Yeah.
Right,
exactly.
speaking backwards. That
Right.
is a prime Yoda thing.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm taking it from you now. We got Captain Lando Calrissian. All right, here we go.
I'd love to hear this.
Original movies, Cloud City. It was fun, right? From the second he showed up on the screen, he was just a lively personality guy, right? We got the little betrayal thing. He showed up beforehand. He did his thing, right? Right? He kind of, you know, then he returns, right? Sarlacc pit. He didn't really do much. He was just kind of like there, right? Bring back his character a little bit. But where Lando gets nearly every single point, the Solo movie. His charisma is unmatched.
Yeah, Donald Glover plays a great Lando.
Fantastic. Bring him back. Lando movie.
Yeah, I want it. Well, they're doing the show eventually. We're supposed to get a Lando series.
Show?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's supposed to be like a 2024 type deal on Disney Plus, so it's like there's like a good solid chance it doesn't happen because, you know, Disney's like that. So.
Right. This dude shows up, cheats at cards, right? He's got the fastest ship in the galaxy, except it's not his. It's booted. You know, that's classic Lando, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's playing the same game as Han, right? Yeah, I'm cool. You know, he kind of talks a big talk, doesn't walk as big of a walk, but funny guy to have around. He's got matching capes. Great taste.
Capes are cool.
Great taste.
Capes are really cool. I wish I had a really cool cape.
There you go. That's Lando.
You know, I wore a cape to prom, right? You know that? Like, I wore a cape to prom, but it was like a Party City cape. Because I didn't have that. Like, I wanted, like, if I could have, like, you know how people rent suits for, like, hundreds of dollars?
Mm-hmm.
What if I was just like, yo, Ma, buy me a cape. Like, a real cape. I could have had, like, a tailored cape. But instead, I waited too long. So I rolled a fucking Party City cape. Just think of me, like, pulling up, like, Lando to prom, bro. Like, if I had a genuine cape that's, like, swinging, it's, like, made of, like, silk or velvet, and it's just, like, fluttering behind me. Dude. I probably...
You wouldn't need to go with a date. You would just,
I'd
like,
come
take
home
other
with
people's
multiple
other
dates. Yeah.
Well, either that or your social status plummets. But, you know.
Well, you know what? It was prom. I had, like, 2 weeks to go, and then it was...
And then you're out of there, yeah.
So
welcome to Dorm Talk.
Yeah, there you go. We've talked about other things before this. We probably won't talk about it in Dorm Talk.
Not relevant.
Yeah, no. Anyways, more about Lando. You got more to say about Lando? I interrupted with my cape story.
I think that just about does it with Lando.
Okay,
you know
fair
what?
enough.
Leave it on a good note.
Yeah, I could respect it. Right, he was in my dope characters that missed the list, right? If it's a top 40, I think I put Lando in there. Maybe top 30. Like, he's a great character. He's a classic character. Again, with a lot of these characters, they're just classic. But Lando's high on this for me.
Right,
Well,
you
like-
can't put a character up there just because they're classic. They need to have a personality,
Right,
an
and I-
arc, a movie.
Right, and I understand that's what your list is based on quite a bit here. Mine is like I'm still like including these, but they are lower just because like somebody's dude. There's already someone I know who's gonna put Yoda number 3 and just be like on me in the comments. But like I'm sorry.
We got
I'm
like
sorry.
3 censor. Can we have a censor counter here? Well, here we're at like 3 right now.
We'll figure it.
We'll see if we hit 10.
We're probably. I think we're at like 5 or something. I don't know. I've said like bad a couple times. There you go. Another one. Okay, my 13. Mr. Boba Fett.
Interesting choice.
Do you think he should be higher?
I do.
How much higher? You don't have to give it
I
give it
don't
away,
even-
but just
I
give
don't
me a
even have to
range.
look. I don't
Give
have
me
to
a
look.
range.
He's higher, but not dramatically higher.
Okay, fair enough. So here's my thing with Boba. Cool,
Oh, cool.
but Boba, there you don't like.
He created cool before cool in Star Wars existed.
Right,
Cool in
but-
Star Wars, that was Chewbacca. Boba Fett's on screen.
right.
It's like, that is
Dope. He's
other
cool.
than Darth Vader. Dude, he just shows up.
But we
He's
also
cool.
we also include arcs and things like this. His first introduction, he gets how many lines? Like nothing.
He doesn't need that.
I don't
In
like
fact-
he didn't get anything, and he dies. He dies in episode 6, right? And then we see a little bit of young Boba, clone Boba.
Clone Boba was pretty cool.
In the Clone Wars, I
Great
really like
Claw.
Clone Boba. In the movies, whatever, kind of irrelevant. He's just there because, like, oh my gosh, he turns into, you know what I mean? But, like, in Clone Wars, you kind of get a little bit of backstory. You see why, I like Clone Wars Boba. You see kind of why he turns into a bounty hunter. Great. Boba, where else is he? He's not in Rebels. Mando. A little bit of Boba there. He's badass in Mando.
And this is, alright, for
And this- for reference-
context.
This is November 16th, 2021.
Oh, we got to include the year. That's cool.
We're about a month and a half out from the Book of Boba Fett
Nothing's been released yet besides the
Uh,
actor,
in a very mediocre trailer.
right? What's her name?
Fennec.
Fennec Shand. Yep, that's the one. Other than that, we got no idea.
So Boba, like, if that show turns out great, like, Boba's gonna climb the list 100%. I am 100% willing to climb Boba way up there because he's dope. I haven't seen enough of Boba to put him above a lot of these characters. Now, why is he above Yoda? Why is he above Han Solo? I think Boba, the prospect of bounty hunters is so much cooler than, like, wise Jedi. Like, yeah, Han Solo's just kind of this scumbag
he's an
smuggler.
outlaw.
But that's kind, you know what I mean? Like, I like his arc. His arc's whatever. Yoda's just your classic wise old guy you see in a lot of other movies. You know what I mean?
Right? Any other anime fan knows the wise old guy, right?
Yeah, there's a wise old guy. There's a wise old guy.
There is.
Then we got Boba Fett. The concept of bounty hunting is just so
It relies
miles
on it.
cooler of everything. And yeah, he is the
The
bounty hunter. When you
concept
think of
of-
bounty hunter, you think of Boba Fett. Now
We don't need those scum.
I have bounty hunters higher than Boba Fett.
Do you?
I do.
Interesting.
But Boba Fett's like the OG. He deserves a spot pretty high on this list.
Bounty hunters above Boba. Interesting. Very
I know you're
interesting.
happy about that.
Because I have a guess on who this bounty hunter may be. Two captains in a row. Captain Rex.
I'm very happy you put him on this list. Captain
That
Rex is cool.
is, I believe, the number one clone on this list, right?
Mhm.
Fives was awesome. Echo is cool. I mean, I respect the Bad Batch. Do I think Hunter is above Hondo and his pirate gimmicks? No, I don't. Honestly.
Mhm.
Captain Rex. He is the clone. He's got a personality, right? You see him with Cut. I believe that's his name, the farmer.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, I get it.
I love seeing him. in
you're a
that,
deserter.
That, yeah.
That's completely illegal.
Yeah. But I respect you.
But
There's.
you have a what? You like
Yeah.
children. Like
Yeah.
he's a man with a plan. His relationships with other characters. That's it. He is the Joey Wheeler to friggin' Yugi. Yu-Gi-Oh reference. You might not know it.
I don't know Yu-Gi-Oh.
Anyone who does that's watching, maybe. Captain Rex is right. There's plenty of other Joey Wheelers out there, but Captain Rex, he looks cool, he shoots good, and he's fun.
Yep.
Right. You see him with the Domino Squad? He's the dude with the funny helmet, the droid thing. Roger, Roger, right? And then they open the door. Huge surprise. It's Captain Rex.
Yep. I love it. I love that spot.
There's a reason he is the leader of the 501st.
Exactly. Yeah, his relationship, Anakin, Ahsoka, just like, it just transcends, like, you got clones, but then there's Captain Rex. He's like the clone. I mean, like, Jango's the clone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you think clones, it's Captain Rex. He's dope. Gotta watch Clone Wars. You have to. If you haven't, you have to. You just have to. You don't get things like
The
this.
Clone Wars series is probably better than
There's only 2 movies I put better than the Clone Wars.
the whole series.
And that's Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back. Then it's Clone Wars. Then it's all the other movies.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there's just so
there's so much content. There's
Yeah.
depth.
Yeah.
Right. Every character gets a backstory.
And it creates
arcs.
more depth. Like you what you don't get in the prequel trilogy, you get in the Clone Wars.
This whole list is a huge advertisement for Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Yeah, you gotta see it. What are you doing to yourself?
I'm taking the next one. Sorry.
Go for it.
Palpatine.
Okay. I won't argue.
Some people think Palpatine is cooler because he's from the original. You know, he grew up on Palpatine. Does
Mhm.
Darth Vader run the show? No, it's Palpatine.
Mm-hmm.
What they did with Palpatine in the last movies? No.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. You died. The answer is no.
Should've died. Yeah, exactly.
Right? If Mace Windu makes a comeback, I respect it. He fell out of a building, but he's force sensitive, and he still got. he
Palpatine
still got
fell
one hit.
into the center of the Death Star, which then exploded around him. And you're gonna tell me he transferred his essence or whatever they want to say now? It's such a stretch. It's such a stretch.
Right, an armor-plated dude escaping a Sarlacc pit with a knife, and he's the
Okay,
coolest
but
bounty
yeah,
hunter
he's
out there.
Boba Fett. Like,
Right, he
yeah,
cuts out.
that's
it
Boba
makes
Fett.
sense.
Yeah.
Right, you can at least think it's somewhat feasible.
Yeah.
Even if it's slim to 1 odds, you know what I mean?
What he had Beskar, right, or close to it? Was it? I don't know if it was Beskar or not. But like, I mean, he's got all the protection he needed.
Just because you're force sensitive doesn't mean you can survive
Yeah.
a super long fall. I mean, you sort of can. There's a character on this list that should have died, but super hype they brought him back.
Facts.
All right, you know who I'm talking about.
Yep, I do.
I'm sure plenty others do too. You're up.
So I'm taking the next 2. Number 12, your 17, Din Djarin. Mando.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about like Boba, like Din just takes a step up. He's got cooler armor. He's got cooler
Disagree,
fighting
but I-
skills. Right? He takes on a dude with a light, like with a Beskar spear. Like that's so cool. A freaking spear made of pure Beskar, hanging with a light, like that is so cool. And the way like he's just so bad. He he's just, I don't know, like I was saying that a lot about these characters, but like Din Djarin, while he's on the screen, like he absorbs it, like he is, like he's so compelling. And the fact that he hardly talks in the first few episodes, never takes off his mask until like season 2, or I guess you see it in the end of season 1. But he doesn't like. There's
Right.
just
It's the character growth, right? He
Right.
showed it to a non-living thing.
right, and then he starts to like, it's just.
Then he has to save the kid.
And there's so much about him that can happen, right? With now he's got the dark side. Like there's just so much about Din Djarin that could skyrocket him to one of the top characters of all time.
high potential. Very high potential.
Very high ceiling, and very like he's got a high floor too. Like he's already established himself.
High floor.
He's already established himself as one of the best. I think one of the best characters in Star Wars. It's just great show, and he is the show. Without it, I mean, yeah, Baby Yoda, but like, you know what I mean? Din Djarin. Cool. Number 11, Captain Rex.
That.
Joe covered it for me. I won't elaborate any further, other than the Siege of Mandalore sealed this for me. That arc, like, I wanted to cry when Rex cried. Like, that was such a beautiful scene. Yeah.
5 fives.
Find it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, man, that show. So good. Captain Rex. I would love to put him higher along with some of these other characters, and I really can't because there's so much more.
Give us a short story of Captain Rex and the clone facility training up.
Right.
picked by Anakin. I mean, the dude's got to be special.
Yeah.
You could go into his backstory.
I mean, you might even see a live-action Captain Rex in the Ahsoka show coming up.
Right.
Like, we're not that far out, right? This is... I don't know.
It's a long shot.
It is.
It's a long shot.
So...
I like the change they made, too, with the movies, how there used to be that one old guy in the
Yeah, and
photo.
they're just like, yeah, that's Captain Rex.
yeah.
Exactly. I love that. I absolutely love it. All right. You want number 10?
Hit him with round 3.
Round 3. Princess Leia. Top 10 Star Wars character of all time. You gotta have the princess. Now, this is I have a problem with her being 16 because, like,
Maybe
the original Star Wars, right? You've got Darth Vader. You've got your villain. You got your hero, Luke Skywalker. But you've got the plot, the purpose, and it's Leia.
Go on.
Leia is why Star Wars, like, she was kind of the glue that kept that story together, right? It was all about saving the princess, which is a common storyline. But you do it in space, and it's like such a new thing. Yeah, and that's again a little questionable how they go, but it adds to how the storyline goes, right? If it was, I mean, like, I don't know. Leia's just classic. Now her Episode 8, not a fan for Mary Poppins crap. That like, I would love to put her higher again, and that's why he's got her. They did her so wrong.
She was the glue, but like
they did her so wrong in the sequel trilogy. They should have just like, I don't know. They should have just. They were put in a tough situation. She died, and she's such an integral part to the storyline that they had to figure out a way. But it was just bad. They should have just look. They said Palpatine returned from the dead in the opening crawl. Why can't you just also say, yeah, and Leia passed away too? Like, if you're gonna stretch that boundary,
yeah, they could have really just pulled a link.
Why but why force Palpatine like that? But then also force this.
Too much forcing.
Yeah,
and it feels unnatural.
That whole movie was forced. Anyways, she's number 10.
Cash.
A lot of these characters, like, I'm saying why they're not number 1, and I'm kind of avoiding why they're high on the list as they are. But that's just kind of my nature.
Okay.
They're not. There's a reason why they're not my number 1. You'll see my number 1 is Joe might have a problem with it, but I don't know. So, number 10 for Joseph, Mr. Positive.
Not mentioned by you yet. Maybe yet. I don't know.
She was in my honorable mentions, and you got her at 10.
Okay. I know it's weird. Captain Rex, Lando, Chewbacca, Leia, Mandalorian, Kylo Ren. Lots of super relevant mainstream characters. Asajj Ventress.
I want to hear it. I like Ventress. I think her arc is very compelling. Where she kind of
she's a Padawan.
Right. And then
Master takes an L.
Yup.
Dark side. Count Dooku, right? She gets brought up.
And she becomes this like.
She becomes too strong.
Yeah.
Palpatine thinks she's a threat, right? Could her and Dooku take him? Probably not. Debatable. Right? She got no idea. Right? She gets betrayed by Dooku. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Escapes that. Escapes death. Where's she go? Home planet. Boom. Backstory. Night Sisters. I like the Night Sisters. Mother Talzin.
Yep.
Didn't make the list. Didn't make honorable mentions. But she was okay.
It's like top 100.
Top
75.
Right, that's a lot of 100 characters. I don't even know if they go that far, right? That's where you start putting characters.
There's just so little of Mother Talzin. Anyways.
Right, but Palpatine thought she was a threat. That's cool. She's got 2 lightsabers. They're both curved. I like that.
Cool. She's bad. She had some hair on her head. Adventures. You know what I mean? But, anyways.
We're not. No, sorry. You get no backup on that one.
I mean, Obi-Wan's feeling some kind of way about her. They're always hinting it at each other. I'm telling you, bro.
Right? Boom.
They
brains.
They've definitely off camera. Maybe Anakin was in there with them. There's too many innuendos in Clone Wars about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, she's dirty. She can be pretty dirty,
Yeah.
right? Boom. Betrayal. Backstory. Night Sisters. Grievous. Right? goes out. No more family, no more home. She's got to be Ventress.
Mm-hmm. And I like that.
Krait's Claw arc, bounty hunters, right? She took on Boba Fett. Granted, young Boba Fett, and Boba Fett's not force sensitive, nor does he have lightsabers, right? And then you know what she does? She makes the moral decision of, no, I'm not going to give this child, who I've been paid to bring to this, you know, dirty king, pedo, right? Bounty hunter then helps Ahsoka. You see, dark to light, just like that. Character growth, character development, cool fight scenes, lots of fun innuendos. I like Ventress.
Look, I'll respect it because I do like Ventress, but it is very bold to have her over Palpatine, Rex, Lando, Chewie. I understand Savage, who's also weirdly high on your list. Leia, Mando, like
these are all characters with names and development. I like her development
I disagree
more than I like a lot of these characters' development.
with the placement. I love the characters you have on your list so far. I just disagree about the order, and that's why we have two separate things. I mean, why would
you would agree?
My 15's also yours? What? That's great.
Right, Captain Rex would be in the same place.
Right, we agree in some places, but that's a bit controversial. It's a bit of a stretch.
Okay.
But I'll respect it. Number 9.
What if you said you didn't respect it? You
just suckered you.
All right, here you go.
Joe could take me in a fight, but if I got him first, I knock his glasses off. He can't see. Like maybe I got a shot. Anyways,
Not that one.
someone neither of us could take. Cad Bane, baby.
Wow.
Cad Bane. He's the coolest bounty hunter in Star Wars. Easily the coolest bounty hunter. Oh, he's just like this space cowboy. No fear in the world. Can take on Jedi. He infiltrates the temple, steals a holocron. This guy could do anything. He's such an intelligent. He understands the ins and outs of his enemies so well, and he's got all the gadgets necessary to beat his. He's just so cool. He's just so cool.
Right. I understand.
The coolest bounty.
He's a cool bounty hunter. The coolest bounty hunter, in my opinion. Yes.
Yeah.
Coolest bounty hunter. Do you know who's the second coolest bounty hunter? Sort of. Third. I mean, it kind of varies a little. You'll understand why. Mr. Boba Fett.
Okay. Yeah. I can respect him there.
Where's the personality at? Honestly, not much personality.
But he's just Boba.
He died early, but he looks outstanding.
Yeah.
That character created bounty hunters.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta respect that. The show might come out. He wants to rule through respect, not through fear. And then it cuts to him like bashing something's head in with a stick. Boba Fett's a grueling dude. Okay.
Oh yeah, his fight scene where he's like whipping around the freaking Tusken Raider stick and beating the out of those stormtroopers.
Come on.
Just beats the hell out of him. This plastoid everywhere. Like, oh my gosh, he's cool.
He is cool. He is cool.
Also, the freaking seismic charges. Oh,
The seismic charges. Wow.
Top 10 coolest weapons in Star Wars. Number 1 seismic charge. Top 10 coolest sounds in Star Wars. Seismic charges. Oh my god.
Right. The only thing that stands maybe a chance against coolest weapon would be the lightsaber itself.
Yeah.
But that's because it's
The lightsaber.
right. You can't even. That was pretty quiet. We'll count that out. Okay. Sorry. Mine again.
I did say frickin'. So
Freaking.
it's a freaking lightsaber.
Freaking.
Numero 8.
This is where I believe our lists may start to become a little closer.
Sure. It's bound to. Okay.
Darth Maul. Darth Maul in the movies was, well, he was cool. He created the double-bladed lightsaber.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Was I around for the Phantom Menace when I was born? And no, it was years
Menace
old.
was the second to last Star Wars movie I watched.
He looks awesome. He fights awesome. His appearances in the Clone Wars and Rebels, which I haven't seen, but I've seen clips, the important clips.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he belongs. I'll leave some gas for you to say. Because he's got to be on your list somewhere. If he's not,
He's higher than 8.
then
He's
you're
higher
not
than
going to get the sucker punch. I'm going to get the sucker punch.
All right, I'll do my number 8 here. It's gonna be Sheev Palpatine. Not much to say about Palpatine other than like he's like other like I'm just gonna exclude Episode 9. Like there's a lot about like these
he's
characters.
all of the Sith.
I can't. A lot of the I can't do it. It's not there. Palpatine orchestrated everything the way he wants. And I'll tell you what, he climbs this. If we get a Palpatine show of his like him training with
Darth Maul.
Plagueis. With Plagueis, that would be so cool. I want nothing more than to see a young Palpatine training Palpatine's cool. How many? We get a cool counter up here. Like I'm saying cool this whole time too. It's just orchestrated the entire Clone Wars. Hid himself from all suspicion. And then he just, he ruled the guy. Like
the only
reason he fell is the chosen one. The only reason. It took the chosen one to defeat Palpatine. And not even, because he got resurrected by his Force transfer, and then Rey defeat. Which, by the way, Rey killing him completely negates the chosen one.
I'm going to make a spoiler. Rey is not within this list.
Why would they, did they not understand? Anakin's the chosen one. He brought balance to the Force by killing Palpatine. They bring him back. And now, that's all gone. You completely undermine what he did.
The entire story.
The entire everything before that, completely pointless. It really is, and it's sad. Anyways, that's the director's fault, that's Lucasfilm's fault, that's Kathleen Kennedy's fault.
Let's not get canceled.
Fire Kathleen Kennedy. Fire Kathleen Kennedy, she sucks balls. Number 8, number 5.
I respect your decisions, however, I do not think they were the right decisions.
Yeah, no, they're invalid.
Okay, is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Slightly controversial pick.
Oh, here we go. Love it.
Yeah. Luke Skywalker.
It's a little low.
Right, I understand. However, right, we take a look at this list here, and the rest of the list here, there's minimum one outlandish pick.
Okay.
That might make you / the viewers upset. Maybe 2, maybe even 3, we'll call it. Especially with your list, I see how you play some of your characters. But Luke Skywalker. He was phenomenal in his movies. His appearance in The Mandalorian, wow. Shocking.
I almost cried. I really did. It was beautiful.
Right. Here's how I'm saying it. The movies built him up, and for his return to show up like that in The Mandalorian was... Whoa.
Yeah.
Right? Without those first movies, though, that feeling would not have been created.
Right. He is, the hero of cinema. Like, you think of an icon, it's Luke Skywalker.
Right.
But 7, it's a little low.
We'll let you make your case.
When I eventually put him on my list.
Right.
But, yes, Luke Skywalker, he's it. That's the it factor. He's it. Like, Luke Skywalker is somebody who, as kids, people could have, I want to be like Luke Skywalker. Why is he lower?
Take a guess. You got one guess.
The Last Jedi. Now, here's the thing.
Right. They find this dude, and I'm like, ooh.
I know. The end of the movie, I was ready for him to train Rey. That would have been dope.
Right? He takes that lightsaber
then
and
him,
he goes,
actually fight. Yeah.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
How could you
That
do
was
that?
Devastating.
To
And
the
he drinks some,
Skywalker
like-
lightsaber. How could you do that?
And then he drinks some friggin' fancy
Like-
Disney milk or something.
This green milk from this giant alpaca looking thing. It's got huge honkers, and he's just, it's so good.
Clip it.
Mommy, sorry. Here's my thing. I actually, contrary to a lot of people, I like how he went out.
We'll leave some of that for
Okay.
your
Sure.
just to get a little.
Now, you ready to get riled up here? Everyone here? Number 7, Grand Admiral Thrawn, baby.
I have not read the books or seen Rebels.
He is so cool. He is so cool. Yes, I've read 2 out of the 3 Thrawn books. I'm going to work on the 3rd this winter. Rebels, he's just like this. He's not even sadistic. He's just so strategic, and he's a genius. Look, Ezra should not have beat him. Like the way he went out in Rebels, I'm sorry, he's still going to be alive. He's going to show up in the Ahsoka show, which is why you need to catch up on some Thrawn lore and background for that, because he's going to show up. Like that.
You know who needs to show up in the not the Ahsoka show, in the Boba Fett show? Sorry to
Who?
just take it off. Bosk.
Yes.
I got $2 riding on
He
Bosk.
does have a bet on Bosk.
Bosk could show up.
Bosk was in my dope characters. I missed the list briefly, but then I had to fill it in with the characters that fell off my 20. Anyway,
Continue.
Bosk really.
Thrawn.
Okay, so yeah, Thrawn, absolute military genius. Absolute, like, he is never wrong. You read that first book, and the way he climbs up through the ranks of the Empire so fast, and the fact that he's from the unknown regions, he's an alien, right? And most of the Empire at this time is these upper class people that live in the center of the galaxy, Coruscant. That is, it's almost like a racism type thing, where it's like, wow, that's a chiss, right? That's his race. He's a chiss.
Thank you.
And I almost chissed my pants when he got name dropped in Mandalorian. Anyway, it's like
wonderful.
he climbs up through the oppression to Grand Admiral so rapidly because he's just a genius.
Pure talent.
And yeah, he's like, what's the word? Like,
Calculating.
just like, oh no, there's like forensic. Like he can look at these kind of things. He interprets art of different cultures to understand how they'll fight in battle. And he's like, they do this in their art. I analyze their art and the way they draw their patterns in the back, or what they draw about, the story the art pieces tell, lead me to believe that this is the action they're going to take when we fight them. And then that's true, and then he beats them because he prepares for what no one else can see. You put Thrawn in Palpatine's spot, the Empire doesn't fall. It doesn't.
That's a bold claim.
Even though Ezra got the best of him with space whales. I'm spoiled. Ezra goes woo and summons these space whales that have the ability to go through hyperspace, and they attach to Thrawn's ship, and then they launch off to hyperspace and never to be seen again until the Ahsoka show, when we probably see Ezra and Thrawn in live action. I just the way they hype him up in these books, and I'm super happy that they brought him into Rebels, and he's going to get more. So bad. He plays like 4-way chess when everyone else plays tic-tac-toe. That's the level he's on.
Can he fight?
Yes, he can fight. He actually can fight. He trains with like these freaking huge droid things, and he like can take anyone.
You know what? Might have to give the books a read, or a peek into Rebels. You might watch it. Fair enough.
He's there. He's it. He's it.
He is it. Well, there's 6 more its, at least, with your list. Okay. Lower pick on yours,
That's a pick I'll respect.
Master Yoda.
I'll respect it.
I enjoy the wise old Grandmaster trope. Is that the word?
Yeah, pretty
Right.
much.
I've seen a few anime in my time, right? We got Master Roshi. We got Jiraiya, right? They're just the old mentors, wise. I gotta be forgetting at least a couple now. There's a few shows I've seen.
The rat from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Splinter.
Yeah.
Wow, cannot forget Splinter, right? Yoda is the epitome of
And
I'm
he's like,
old,
I-
and I'm wise,
Yeah.
I'm quirky, I can fight, right? He trained this one,
And this one.
and hear that, Disney?
And Lord Tyrannus
And Lord
himself.
Darth Tyrannus, right? Sifo Dyas, everybody.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, if we're doing like influential characters, dude, 5 Sifo Dyas. Unbelievable. Yeah, here we go.
Great impact. The quirks, or not the negative aspects of Yoda were kind of already mentioned. There's too much variety with him. How he looks, the things he does, what he says, right? He dies at 900,
Something.
but at 870, this dude's, yeah.
Still.
It's a little inconsistent. Yeah, we're being a little sciencey about it and mathy and right. But it just, he's a great character. He's above all of these people. I was really questioning putting Maul higher. I really enjoyed his season 7 aspect.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on about him most likely later until you put Quill above Darth Maul and you take an uppercut.
Oh man. All right. Number 6. Maul.
Wow. Okay.
I like him and Thrawn. I want so badly to put up higher. I want to so badly, but there's just characters you can't ignore ahead of them, and
You can't ignore him.
they're probably gonna be your top 5 as well for the most part. I guess one of my top 5 is. Anyways, Maul. His return was done excellent, just perfectly, like to a T.
Should he have survived? No.
He shouldn't have. But the way he describes it, like through sheer like pain and agony, his will to live, like he did it through hatred for Obi-Wan.
Right. Did Palpatine have sheer hatred against Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker? Doesn't matter. I mean, he was in a blown up Death Star. This dude just fell. I mean, he was cut in half. You're right. You're fair enough.
But like he does, you know,
It's
he
cauterized.
never gets his legs right. Right. Just put it in rice.
It's got right. You know.
But like, you know, he
he's
shows
fine.
up. He's living on this trash planet, like in just this like crazy, like mental schizophrenic and just horrible state.
Right. He's just
Just-
pure instinct
He's
to
just
survive.
yeah, instinct survival mode, and he's just living off the hatred for Obi-Wan. That's what he's living on. And then when he's given the opportunity to avenge himself, when he's given new legs, right? He's living on these like spider things he made himself, and then he's given new legs from the Night Sisters, and he teams up with Savage, and he's able to like be who he once was, and maybe even more powerful. And you see his progression from this estranged beast in the depths of this trash planet, and he works his way back up to like an actual villain who runs a syndicate, and it's just like his arc is perhaps the most compelling out of any character in Star Wars.
Kind of need to see the escape from Palpatine.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. 30-minute,
Right.
5-minute, something.
Right. Yeah. How he.
Right, there's a few holes. You know what?
Sure.
You know what Star Wars has? They have options. Star Wars has options. The world's too big at this point.
Mhm.
Not too big. It can definitely keep
Well,
growing.
just even that, you set a precedent by resurrecting these characters where it's like, you know, Maul worked, Boba worked. It's like a lot of these characters, like, there's so much
How
they
many
can-
of them died?
Right, and you know, you get Obi-Wan, he died, but he still plays a role in the rest of the original trilogy. Yoda died, he still plays a role. Like, all these kind of things where, like, Star Wars is able to, you know,
Even
when
beyond.
Maul dies, dude, who's gonna get haunted by Maul? Like, we might see somebody, like, getting Force visions. I guess Sith can't do that, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. They have options, so that's a great point.
I got options. Some.
Brand new options.
Right. Now we're starting to get to the big dogs. Especially the Clone Wars big dogs. How do you spell it? Tell me. I think that's right.
Yup.
Ahsoka Tano. I thought Ventress's growth could be unmatched, right? insane growth.
Right.
Insane growth.
Yeah, we talk about Maul's arc. Maul's arc is probably like the most like 0 to hero type deal.
It's the growth for Ahsoka.
Bro,
She
absolutely.
shows up. She's cocky. She's quote unquote from Anakin. She's a little rough around the edges, right? Right. You can do the that Soldier Boy, right? Superman. Right.
Anyways,
Ahsoka, it's the growth. Ahsoka has the growth. The growth.
best female character in Star Wars.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
For me, yes.
100%.
Right. If you have not seen the Clone Wars TV series,
Another reason to do it.
this is a huge advertisement for. It's Ahsoka. She has plenty of arcs. I know it's like growth counter, everybody, but there we go.
Why ain't she here?
There are more relevant, cooler characters. I mean, maybe not a bit of both, you know. She's relevant. She's cool. She's got a wonderful growth. Yup, add that again. But of the characters remaining, the cool factor. Ahsoka's cool.
She is white lightsabers. Okay, so you may notice a change in outfits. Video decided to stop filming while I was discussing my number 5. So we're just gonna jump back at it. It's a different day, new attitude,
And a change in perspective.
And a little bit.
You start.
right? So here we go. My number 5 is Luke Skywalker, Luke Starkiller, Sky Sprinter, Luke Sky Motherfucker. It's Luke Skywalker. Now, he's down 7's a little low. For the guy, he is what you know what I mean? Like, he is a cinematic icon. Kids who grew up, obviously we're not kids who grew up with Luke Skywalker, but kids who grew up with Luke Skywalker idolized Luke Skywalker. They wanted to be Luke Skywalker. Now, I didn't have that, right? My guys that I wanted to be like were Sean Casey, Storm Chaser, IMAX filmer, dope, and Ryan Braun. But imagine you're born in Nebraska, no sports teams around to cheer for, maybe not even cable, but your dad comes home with a copy of Star Wars. Just at the time, it was just Star Wars.
Go Cornhuskers, man.
Luke freaking Skywalker is the coolest thing ever. Green lightsaber, cool. Lost his hand, cool. He's a cinematic icon.
Plenty of lost limbs here.
And I'll tell you what, I'm arguing for him like he's the greatest thing on planet Earth, and I only have him at 5, right? And Luke Skywalker 7's a little low, but I can respect it. But it's a little low. Anyways, that's my piece. Luke Skywalker is Star Wars. He is cinema. He's one of the most iconic characters of all time. And he deserves a spot high on the list. Now, you're
like
fair
other characters more. That's
right.
just plain
and that's just you're fair weather Star Wars fans gonna put Luke and Vader top 1 and 2.
Palpatine 3.
Right.
Easy.
We're a little bit deeper, so we have a little bit different connections with some of these characters, and that's why Luke falls.
Deeper, not in the sense of we're superior to you,
Not like deeper.
but that.
I mean, yeah, you know what I mean.
Deeper as in the
We've seen
timeline
more than
we
the
came
movies.
further in.
Right. And well, that true, but we also have probably watched each movie more. We've watched the Clone Wars. I've watched that thing 3 times through. Rebels twice. I'm in it reading books, and I'm in it in the deep end. So I have a different appreciation for different characters.
Play the song, In Too
Thrawn
Deep.
in top 10. Yeah, In Too Deep. Let's see your number 4.
Okay. So, as mentioned, the video cut. So I had a whole 1 day thinking.
You got to sleep on it.
I got to sleep.
our little thingy's on right now. Continue on, Joe.
Bless you.
Don't let me distract you.
Right. You're seeing a change already. I know. You already heard me discuss
Oh, what's going on now?
Miss Ahsoka. And
He's
honestly,
bumping her up. Wow.
Spelled that right, correct?
You did.
Uh,
Okay. That's a change of heart I appreciate.
I know you appreciate it. I know. Right. The guy you put, I don't even know if that's hyphen. I don't know.
No, you don't have to hyphenate.
There you
Han
go.
Solo. It's-
Han. Who are your people? He got no people. Now we got people, right? Solo movie, excellent movie. This dude is like Lando, but better, right? He's in it to win it.
Is it because you're racist?
No. Okay, all right, great. There you go.
I'm
you.
sorry.
Thanks
Sorry.
for that.
Continue on. Okay. Okay.
I don't know what to continue
Let me
much
prompt
more.
you. Like, what, like Han Solo over Yoda and Luke and Maul. You know what I mean? Like, enlighten me, please.
Personality.
Personality. Okay.
Personality.
You are a person that appreciates personality.
A person that appreciates the whole character. The whole character himself, right? This dude is sort of like a cowboy gunslinger, right? He plays cards like a champ. He steals stuff. He's in too deep, especially with the Hutt clan, you know? That's just how it goes. He gets frozen. He does
Kendra
his
Club.
thing, right?
In too deep with Kendra Club too.
He's got a fun personality. He's got a fun character.
So he's quick.
Yeah, and he shoots Greedo first.
McClunky.
McClunky did not make the top 3. I'm sorry, no McClunky. Jabba the Hutt will not be. Zero the Hutt will. The Hutt clan will not be making an appearance on this list. Honorable mention, add it to the list, Bib Fortuna.
Okay, so
I'm sorry, I like a guy.
it's fine.
Unmatchable charisma. Plays
True.
cards. He shoots. He's funny. This dude's funny. How many quotable lines are there from Han Solo?
A lot. There's a lot of iconic ones too.
Countless.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just have a big discrepancy here. 15 for me, 5 for you.
Yeah, but you think that Princess Leia, who I barely recall...
Leia's very loyal. I mean,
I barely recall a scene from Leia at this point.
Okay, you don't recall Slave Leia at least?
Mike Clunky. Changing her.
Something's rising and it ain't Skywalker. Number 4, Anakin. Now, Anakin, he's the chosen one. He's the chosen one. He is what Star Wars is. Star Wars is Anakin. Now, I said that about Luke, but the story really is Anakin's story, right? Even in the original trilogy, we see this.
It was Anakin.
It was Anakin all around. You get Anakin's redemption
prequel
at the end. The redemption, the peak, is Anakin's redemption. And then you go to the prequels and you see this character who's just this young innocent boy kind of progress through different phases of his life where he's the strongest Jedi in the Order and he's not trusted and he turns dark. And you see that in the Clone Wars a lot better than you do in the movies.
You only got a couple hours to
Right.
see that transition.
The only reason Anakin honestly cracks like top 8 is because of the Clone Wars. His character's a little kooky, a little derpy in the movies, and that's just because of dialogue. I think Hayden Christensen played the character very well for what he was given. But for that reason, Anakin's not number 1, but it's Anakin.
Right. Just to keep following up on that,
Mm-hmm.
we had a little
Okay, so you consider
discussion.
Yeah.
Anakin Vader. I think they're two separate people, but I'm putting them at the same. Or no, they're not two separate people. They're the same person.
So basically, this is your top 21. Is what you're saying to me right now.
No, that's one person. You disagree.
I'll say why I disagree. It's because Anakin is Anakin until Padme dies. Then he's Vader. There's nothing left of Anakin in there. It's hatred. It's absolute hatred. He's gone.
I would argue his meat is, he's probably got a couple pieces of meat in there still that are a little Anakin,
But what makes you Joe is not this.
I mean,
As much as it's kind of nice, it's all that. That's what makes you Joe.
Flattered.
That's what makes you Joe.
They didn't fix his head. He's not a.
Yeah, but when you are so full of hatred and anger that like you are Darth Vader. People call you Lord Vader. Like you are Vader now.
I am Lord Vader.
But what flips that switch back is when Palpatine molests Luke. Those little fingers starts feeling up on him with lightning. That's what turns him back, and then he's Anakin again, and it's a great redemption arc. But there's two separate people.
Great redemption.
And look, I'll follow it up again. Vader is number 3.
There you go. Right.
So like it doesn't make a huge difference, but I just think the concept like Darth Vader is different from Anakin. He's a bad villain. He's an iconic villain in all of cinema, as is a lot of these characters in Star Wars. The hallway scene in Rogue One. I mean, so good, so freaking cool. Not necessary. Kind of fan servicey, but
I mean,
that's what I want to see, man. I want to see a Prime Vader. I want to see a Prime Vader so bad. Like right when he's fresh out the freaking like back to tank day 1, like that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. There goes my cat. So, anyways, Vader ahead of Anakin, simply because Vader is just kind of cooler.
Okay,
Anakin.
I mean, but then again, he's the icon. You
But,
got Luke Skywalker, you got Vader.
Yep.
Those are the two. You don't think Palpatine. I mean, you might think Palpatine, but
yeah,
I would argue more people see Darth Vader as
right.
the guy.
Yep.
Okay. We're down to 2 people apiece.
Mm-hmm.
From our,
There's a pretty large name, not yet on each of our lists right now.
there is a very huge name, and I'm pretty sure the same name exists for the both of us. So, here we go. Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Monsieur Obi-Wan Kenobi.
The dude's gorgeous. Shout out to Mr. McGregor.
Space Jesus.
Not the fighter, but what can you do? Handsome man, well played. The love story. Love the love story.
R.I.P. Alec Guinness, too.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Obi-Wan's kind of this, like, you get your Yoda as your old wise guy in the OT, but Obi-Wan's kind of also that guy. And that's what he is, and he is that first old wise guy. And you're curious about what he was like before, so then you see that in the prequels. You watch him as a Padawan turn into the master of Anakin. You see how their relationship forms. Better in the Clone Wars, you can understand why they consider each other brothers, right? You don't see too much of that in the movies.
Right. He was just raised, and it was like time had passed. Right. You don't see all.
But there's really not enough time to do that in the movies, and that's why the Clone Wars is just great because you get to see that kind of relationship form. Obi-Wan's relationship to Maul is perfect. I mean, just great. Like, Obi-Wan will never hate Maul as much Maul hates Obi-Wan. That's why Obi-Wan's like the perfect Jedi, in my opinion.
The perfect Jedi,
yes,
sure.
the perfect Jedi.
Not saying the Jedi are the perfect people.
Right, but he is the perfect embodiment of the Jedi. Like, if you are trying to have the Jedi take back over and like run an order, like he's the guy you want as the face of your clan, your religion. It's Obi-Wan. He's freaking cool.
He is very cool. He might not be as cool as Vader. He might not be as cool as Luke Skywalker.
And Obi-Wan's character, it's such a tragedy.
But he's always there.
But
He's
always there, and he always
him.
pushes through it too. And that's the craziest thing to me.
Right, every character on this list, he's got some sort of encounter with most of the time.
For the most part.
Right, he's there. Palpatine, Vader, Ahsoka,
Rex,
Yoda,
yeah.
Skywalker, Maul.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, he's got a friggin' encounter with Ventress and everything.
They were definitely by the way. I don't know if you've seen
Come on.
Clone Wars. You gotta be catching up on the innuendos by now. They were definitely having sex on the reg. For a minute. And then Obi-Wan was like, but you're Sith and I'm Jedi and it's against my rules.
And I like girls with hair.
And you're bald. I have to move on. I'm sorry. And then he moved on to Duchess Satine, which is also a tragedy. Great storyline as well. Obi-Wan, man.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Thanks,
Truth.
Mr. Maul.
Yes. All right.
I'm gonna start.
Number 1.
I'm gonna start with my number 1 because, and of course, we'll get hate from you. It'll get hate from the 3 viewers who might watch this all the way through or even hear this part right now.
You're not hyping it up.
But the number one character, in my strong opinion, a character you mentioned,
Heidi knows it.
Cad Bane. You might think this is a joke. This is not a joke.
Please enlighten me.
There are characters with more screen time. There are characters with more development. There's one thing that none of these characters will remotely come close to. This is the coolest character in the series by leaps and bounds. Tenfold what some of these other characters can do. Unmatched. Season 2, Episode 1, this guy pulls up to the scene with a funny-looking hat, rocket boots, and he's leading the crew holding the friggin' Senate hostage. You tell me any other folks who done that? No. No. Right? He's got a cool voice. He's got breathing tubes. You know, what, is this dude gonna choke him out? No. He's not. He's not. Right? You think he's a space cowboy who's, you know, epitome of cool? No. It's Cad Bane. Cad Bane is on the screen. He's the center of attention. Except for maybe the box, Racco Hardin, sorta.
Yeah.
But then again, you know what happens to Racco Hardin? He's about to get dropped. If you're gonna kill him, do it like a man. Unrivaled in the cool factor. He doesn't need character development. Because the second he comes onto the screen, you know who he is. Exactly. There's no shift in morals. No, it's none of that. He shows up to do business. Strictly do business. Plain and simple. Best bounty hunter in the galaxy. You might think it's Boba Fett. Boba Fett got eaten by the Sarlacc. Right? and then he didn't get his armor for like 30 years or something, and Cobb Vanth, I don't know what happened there. Maybe it'll be explained sometime. He's got a series coming up. Right, he was a kid. He got attacked by Ventress. This dude went up against this dude and another Jedi was good.
He did hold his own.
He held his own. Right, if it was a one-on-one, that dude probably would have won. Maybe not against Kenobi. We don't, you know what kind of plot armor he has, of course.
Right.
But that guy there, he needs no introduction.
Look, I like Cad Bane. He's high on my list.
Sure.
For someone, he's high on my list.
A guy who doesn't have that much screen time.
I highly regard Cad Bane.
Mm-hmm.
But what a disgrace to Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, Ahsoka, even I won't say Han Solo, Yoda, Luke, Maul. To have Cad Bane be the pinnacle of Star Wars characters over these 6.
Are any of these cool characters cooler than Cad Bane?
If you're gonna grade based on cool, but this is a little bit.
That's it, though.
You have some inconsistencies here because you're talking about storylines for all these people and with their relevancy, and then you pull up Cad Bane. He's just the coolest. He belongs number 1.
No, it's because he's the coolest by leaps and bounds. You could have the best character growth. You could have the most screen time. You could, be the most charismatic guy out there. Unmatched.
Well, okay, but by that logic, why don't I put General Pong Krell as my number 1? He's the freaking coolest. He's got 2 huge lightsabers. The double blade. He swings them around. He's got like a weird ponytail thing. That guy epitomizes cool. That guy should be my number 1. But you're gonna put Cad Bane above these 3 alone. Yoda, Luke, Maul. I don't understand it. I really don't. Other than,
do any of these guys have rocket boots? No.
Okay, but these guys can use the Force. They can.
Yeah, that's kind of like Hacks. It's plot armor. He shows up. He's the chosen one. Another one's the chosen one. Right? This dude's like 800 years old. This dude's a Chad. Right? Everyone here has got this just insane bias. right? They're a Jedi. They're designed to be cool. I mean, he's of course designed to be, they're fictional characters, but then again, he is just a guy. He's got no force powers, but he'll take on any job for the right price. Right?
I mean, he does get the job done.
He gets the job done. Epic fight scenes, jail escapes, planning,
Also,
leadership.
I will say, one of the coolest scenes, maybe like if we did top 20 scenes, his duel with Hunter in Bad Batch, up there.
Unmatched.
So dope.
Right?
So dope.
You're taking probably one of the top clones in the entire army, and this dude just quick draws, no hesitation.
And then the
Puts it
music
down.
and that was a beautiful scene. But number one, man, I
know you disagree,
because
which is why I want you to end it on
I'm a
happy
little
note.
torn because I really like Cad Bane and I would love to put him up there, but he's not quite everything that Obi-Wan is, Vader is, Anakin, Luke, Maul. Like
These guys are the
my
symbols of the
boldest pick
movies.
is Thrawn up here. I mean, he's got like a season and a half in an animated show. So I argue this, but but at least I did the respective down at 7. You know what I mean?
You're capping all of these traits, right? Like growth, right? It's like its own category.
Right.
And then next to it is the cool factor, right?
Right.
Like there's a ceiling. Like you could be the coolest character ever. But if you're like slightly less cool but have like half much growth, you'd put them over.
I suppose.
There's no
But
ceiling.
here's the deal with if we do like a bell curve here or some bar graph.
A bar.
Cad Bane's growth minimal. He's the same
doesn't need to
throughout.
grow. He doesn't need to grow.
Cool. Yeah, he's way up there. But what else? His relevancy pretty
The
low.
dude stole a holocron.
Okay, but did they got it back?
We got the entire.
So
He went into the Jedi temple.
okay,
moved
and
the
you know who did
holocron.
that you know who did that and fooled both sides for many years? Emperor Palps. So
He's your number 8. He's the puppet master. You think Sasori is the puppet master? It's Palpatine. Naruto reference. Go on. You hit him with your number 1.
I'll just hit him with my number 1. It's Mistress, not really Mistress, Ahsoka Tano. Best character in Star Wars.
It's a wonderful pick.
And it's one of those picks where you respect it if you've seen the Clone Wars and Rebels, and now Mandalorian. Her growth is unmatched to a character who was hated when she was first dropped.
Let's go. That's unbelievable.
when she first
She's rough around the edges.
she
That's the
was
whole thing.
hated. She was a terrible person. Like just
They just tried to
painful
add
to
development
watch.
to Anakin, and they were like, "Oh, this guy." It's a
right,
mess.
painful to watch.
It's
Not
a
only
mess.
was like people like Anakin shouldn't have a Padawan. He's not even a master himself yet. Like like that kind of stuff. And then for her to just be like this absolute little kid
Come on, man.
who like, she's just like your typical like bratty teen.
Yeah.
And it's painful to watch.
You know what else is painful to watch? The fan fictions.
We're not gonna discuss fan fictions
Okay.
because yes, they are painful. And no, I don't watch them or read them. I'm not that sick.
All right, keep going.
Joe, God. Okay, she's got the coolest lightsaber fighting style, right? She doesn't have a double-bladed lightsaber, which is the coolest, but she backhands 2 of them. One's is shorter, and they're both different colors for a while. And then she turns red Inquisitors kyber crystals, and she purifies them and turns them white. And then she's rocking with white lightsabers.
That's fair.
That's sick. She's got the coolest lightsabers, and in live action, they look so cool.
Of course.
Oh my god,
that
they look
is
so cool. So, it just all around.
really makes you want to drop like $1,000 on this custom.
See, if I would have waited like a month, dude, I could have bought her Rebels once. But like a fool, I was just like, I just want one right now. So I bought Anakin. Regardless, I should have waited. I really would love to have those lightsabers. Plus, they dropped the Clone Wars ones too, and like those are the ones I want. Ahsoka Tano, coolest character in Star Wars, in my opinion. There you have it.
Very cool. Lots of growth.
Cool lightsaber fighting style. Very important in Anakin's downfall and
She's
his
a fun
development.
character. It's fun just to not have Anakin
Important
being
in
mischievous.
Rex's
They're both
development.
mischievous.
Important in like she plays a role in Anakin, Obi-Wan, the turn to Vader. She's probably going to meet Luke at some point in the near future in a television show. She's got Maul, Thrawn, Palpatine. You know what I mean? Like, she's involved in a lot of things indirectly.
She would have got decimated.
Dude, I don't know, man.
Calls her a little lady, says they'll dance another time, turns around,
Great scene.
keeps on walking.
Yeah. But that's early. Like, Ahsoka, she's
also got
wildly
talent
powerful, too. Like, the Siege of Mandalore...
After the growth.
After the growth. But, like, the Siege of Mandalore, she survived this onslaught of clones in, like a 30 by 30 space room. Where, like, Ki-Adi-Mundi's like, oh, I don't even know how to hold a lightsaber. And he just dies, like, immediately. Ayla Secura's like, oh. You know what I mean? But, like, no, Ahsoka, like, she fights it off. She cuts a hole in the ceiling. She escapes. And then she's, like, jumping off of falling debris from this Venator class, whatever we call it. And she's jumping, and then she's, like, doing flips. And then she's, like, getting saved. Like, oh, my God. Like... She's probably up there. I mean, and it makes sense. She was trained by Anakin, the strongest Force user, aside from Palpatine.
And Rey.
Do not give me that bull right now, Jill. I am not. Look, we could have a whole discussion about Rey. We really could.
We'll have to sit at a table for that one.
Yeah, because
it'll be flipped by the end.
Right.
Dramatic effect.
Yeah. So and it makes sense, right? She should be that powerful. People try to, it's like, no, you get it. It makes sense. It's not like Rey where she just, all of a sudden, she's the granddaughter of Palpatine, so now she can just, it's like nature, like secondhand, pointless, dumb, doesn't work. This works. Best character in Star Wars.
You're not much of a challenge, youngling. I got you right where I want you. Right, you might knock me down, but then I grab your leg, slap my freaking Ben 10 watch, and you just get tased. Flip. To be fair, of the coolest fighting styles and characters in the series with lightsabers, Count Dooku's is lovely. The Makashi Form 2 fencing style. It's an art form.
I look like I was doing wand tricks like Harold Potter, but...
Harold Potter?
No, that's just how he fights.
Darth Maul, of course, the super aggressive, fast-paced.
No!
Right. And of course her. She's jumping around. It was Yoda in episode 2, except you get more of it this time.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. That concludes
there you have
our
it.
top 20.
Take a picture. This goes hard. Here, let's pose. This goes hard. Feel free to screenshot.
Thumbnail.
Yeah. A civilized discussion between two gentlemen in their dorm. There you have it.
17 swear words from
I cussed a bit. Now I'm gonna actually have to watch the whole thing through so I can.
You're gonna wait for another tally to show up and be like, oh, it happened in like the last minute.
Right. You might be even off too. We'll see. I might. That's too much work to throw an official counter in. But regardless, there you have it. 20-1. Quill, Qui-Gon, Chewie, Kylo, Kanan, Han, Yoda, Boba, Din, Rex, Leia, Cad Bane, Palpatine, one of the coolest villains ever, Thrawn, Maul, Luke, Annie, Vader, Obi, and Ahsoka Tano.
I'm not gonna do that. You get the gist.
Drop your lists in the comments if you got a top 20, or let me know how much of a piece of shit
The next video we're gonna come on. And the next video that we could possibly do.
Yeah, we got ideas, but if you got cooler ideas, LMK.
We like LMK. All right. Till next time.
This has been Dorm Talk.
Signing off.
Pound it, noggin. See ya. Hit him with a hat throw.